I'm recording this now. This is, we're going to overtime. What a weird game. I have a range of emotions, and that third period is the main reason for all of that. Opening this game, Vegas scores shorthanded. William Karlsson, of course. Riley Smith was in the box for it, but Jack Eichel with a fantastic play. He shows up for Game 5. This is his best game so far of the series, and they open the score 1-0. 13 seconds later, Kirill Kaprizov ties it on a one-timer where he was left wide open because, of course, and the goal goes 5-hole on Nathan Hill. It's tie game 1-1, 13 seconds later. So I'm blasting through this because I need to talk about the third period before this settles down. And also, like, I don't know who is going to win this game. This version of Tyler does not know who's going to win this game. And the jerseys behind me might be indicative of the reason why I wanted to talk about this game right now, in between the third period and overtime. And it's not 1-1. We go up 2-1 Vegas because of an even strength goal. This one from Mark Stone on the point, blast home, a pass from Jack Eichel. Again, best game of the series so far for Jack Eichel. That's his second primary assist of the period. And Vegas goes into the second up 2-1. First, before I continue to move on, because I'm gonna have to go through this part quickly, huge credit to Minnesota fans. Last game was talking about whining and about calling the refs and Vegas Golden refs and all that jazz, but they have done a spectacular job this game of literally calling out their own players instead of the refs for every penalty that Minnesota took. Most of them were obvious, like the delay of game for Hartman, the trip hold from Foligno where he just dragged down and tackled the player, but that might be a sore subject because of the hurdle goal. Anyway, even though Hartman wraps his arms around and pulls, anyway, every penalty on Minnesota they've owned up to and said it was them, and like not too much going into, and for the most part it's an Eric Furlatt game, so if anything Vegas fans should complain. However, I think from my perspective this game has been pretty fairly called. There was the one penalty that Saad got tripped, got frustrated, and then high-sticked the player on the Wild, but without replays, it's impossible for me to be able to talk about non-calls. However, I thought I saw the refs let VGK get away with a trip right before they let the Minnesota get away with tripping Saad. And so, like, I don't know. So I wasn't that I'm more for, like, Saad, what are you doing? you can't be losing your cool like that. You need cooler heads will prevail, right? And Minnesota goes to the power play. They, during the second period, and throughout the first and second period, were 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. The first two power plays for Vegas looked phenomenal, but they weren't able to get the puck into the back of the net. They really hemmed in the Wild. The Wild survived those penalty kills, and credit to them for that. However, the third one was just a terrible power play and a fantastic kill from the Minnesota Wild. And those are biting us so hard right now, from the best power play and Vegas franchise existence, second best in the league coming into the playoffs. You know, a really good one so far in the series. It's been not good, and I would say the reason that we're losing this game is because our power play failed to convert. Because if that happens, then we don't have to worry about what happens in the third, because Philip Gustafsson played phenomenally, like vintage Gustafsson. I hate playing against him because of how good he is. And so far in the series, he's been really, really solid. And then it's announced coming into the third period that he's sick. And so he's not playing, he's not on the bench, which means Marc-Andre Fleury comes in relief into the third period. And it's his first, he's played in 18 playoff seasons, which vaults him into first all time, and he's played in 170 career playoff games. He's won 0 games in relief, and Fleury is my favorite player of all time. Even before the Vegas Golden Knights existed, I was pleading for us to get 8 past him today, And honestly, there's this tweet from, I don't even remember, game 3 or 4. I think it was game 4 at the beginning when we were losing. And I was lacking in confidence in Vegas' ability to win game 4. And yeah, no, I was like, yeah, please. And now, at the beginning of the third and throughout the third, I'm getting progressively more sick because I'm rooting against my favorite player of all time. I'm rooting for goals to go past him. And also at the same time, Vegas isn't even getting shots on net on a cold, not warmed up at all, well, kind of warmed up like for like 10 seconds, but not the like true meaning of warm up. 40-year-old goaltender who's past his prime, has played really well. And like, I love the dude. And they aren't getting shots on goal. It took 13 minutes to get one. They got 3, and Marc-Andre Fleury saved them all. And he looked good while doing it, and that was just not the point. Vegas at times looked like they were trying to be too cute with the puck, and they just don't, and it's just, guys, like, I think this would be odd because Boldy ties it. Of course, it's Boldy. He blows by Petro, who's in the 5th year of his 7-year contract that he signed with us for that price, the 8.8 or whatever million. And I knew when we signed him to that the tail end of that contract was not going to be the prettiest. However, that was a terrible time to be thinking about that. I thought about it because, you know, Bolby literally blew right by him. Power move from them after sustained pressure from the Wild that they really like controlled the first half of the third period. They really rallied around Fleury. And don't get me wrong, the storylines behind this specific thing, I'm talking so much right now, I don't even know if any of this is making sense. I am just sick. The storyline of Fleury coming in and winning against his former team in relief in the game where he breaks the record for most playoff appearances in seasons in NHL history, and his farewell tour in Vegas, like, scripted. Like, that would be a Disney, probably just one episode of like the Minnesota series, but it would be there. I'm not, the stuff of scripts, you could sell that to Disney tomorrow. But I like, that's not lost on me of how amazing this, and Vegas is already hated. So of course, the rest of the league, all 31 other franchises, some of the 32nd franchise would be cheering for that. My wife would be one of those, one of the 32 because she loves Fleury. My son's middle name is Fleury. My firstborn son's middle name is Fleury. And I am pleading that we send a goal behind him in overtime to end his career, essentially. Hopefully Vegas, wins the series. And Vegas loses this game. We are, in the previous times that we've lost, we've been down 3-2 in a series, in a playoff series, we're 0-2. We were down 0-2 against Dallas last year, and then I want to say we were down 0-2 against Montreal in 2021. And Vegas, if for some reason Minnesota wins, that would be, Vegas would be the laughingstock of the NHL tonight, despite the fact that Toronto blew a home ice got shut out 4-0 from the Senators en route to what would be the funniest situation in the playoffs this year. But leave it to Fleury to steal the show there. And he hasn't won yet. He's not going to, right? Vegas is gonna win. With less than 3 minutes left, there's a goal for the Minnesota Wild in the third period. Ryan Hartman streams in, sends it on. It hits Hill's stick, and Hartman has a kicking motion towards it, hits his stick, which hits the puck, which goes into the back of the net. It's kicking motion, but he doesn't make contact with the puck, so it's ruled a good goal. But Bruce Cassidy challenges for offsides, and by the slimmest of margins, it was offsides, which goes against the spirit of the offsides rule, but it's what thanks Matt Duchene. Thank you to Matt Duchene. And if Vegas were to win this game, we would be, if we're not already, because, you know, I get we're spoiled and all that jazz, the luckiest franchise in the NHL. But I guess we're gonna have to see. Please, please, please. Vegas is 5-1 in playoff series where we're up 3-2. The one loss was against San Jose in 2019. I'm freaking the freak out. One last thing before I, the penalties this game have been pretty fairly called. The trip or the high stick from Riley Smith in the beginning that gave the Wild the power play that both teams scored on was fair, because initially I thought it could have been the follow through, but midair, right after, he readjusts his stick, and that is what incidentally gets into Hartman's face. And so that was a good penalty call. Just trying to show that I'm not biased and think that the refs are against us. It's just because it's Eric Furlat. And Eric Furlat has consistently been a little bit less favorable with Vegas. Anyway, the overtime starting, so I'm gonna come on. Oh my goodness. Can't. Oh my goodness. Petro missed. Oh, no, come on. Another thing that I didn't talk about is the energy in T-Mobile and at home. I was standing for the last like 3 minutes. Is completely nervous and tense, and it's weird because so many Golden Knights fans love Fleury. He's beloved in Las Vegas still. I know the way the franchise treated him on his way out or whatever, not great, and like that's one of the issues that most fans have with the front office still to this day. But it's a business decision, and like, man. When he came into net and was warming up, there were fans right behind his net that turned their jerseys around because they were Fleury jerseys. And so they had Fleury, you know, on their fronts when he came in, and Eichel. Stone. Stone to Sod, stutter step, White Cloud, deep, hurdle, behind the net, rubbed off by Faber, icing. Come on. That group from Minnesota's tired. It didn't get much on it, but enough that Fleury had to make a save, and he does. It goes off of Faber's skate to go towards Fleury. Fleury, cross crease pad save. Boldy gets it out. Oh my goodness, Faber. Go, Barbie, go. Kolzar gets it deep. Pearson. Yeah! Let's go! Howden, Brett Howden, overtime goal. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank you. Oh, what a shift from the fourth line. I'm numb. Like, not to the joy, but like, I can't feel my body. I felt so sick that entire overtime. Kolzar, Howden, and Pearson. Puck battles, Pearson with the perfect blind pass into the slot to a waiting Brett Howden, and Merrill can't get there in time. He buries it top shelf on glove side on Fleury. Oh man. Oh. I cannot tell you how much relief I feel, and I'm gonna switch back to my other setup real quick. The Vegas Golden Knights win. Where is it? 3-2 against the Minnesota Wild in overtime in Game 5 of the first round of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. And it was so dramatic getting here. And the problem is, if everything goes according to plan, that will be the last time that Vegas sees Marc-Andre Fleury on ice, like the Fortress. And I hope for that, but also like it makes me sad. He's been my favorite player since 2009. And I'm gonna make a Fleury video this summer. Either way, I'm not trying to, don't get ahead of myself. It's a 3-2 series, anything can happen. Minnesota, last time we were up 3-2 against them, forced a Game 7. We were up 3-1 against them when they forced the Game 7. And anything can happen. Minnesota's a fantastic team. Kaprizov and Boldy, the 2 goal scorers, have been eating us alive. And they have been so good. Having Merrill in, I think, was a mistake, although it was really cool to see him. I miss him as a person. He played for Vegas Golden Knight legend, elite forward, John Merrill. And it's a shame. He had quite a few mistakes in this game, and Minnesota paid for it in their loss. And huge hats off to Gustafsson and Fleury. Both were really good throughout the game and made Vegas work for all three of their goals that they got. Jack Eichel, phenomenal. And that fourth line, that shift, so good. Our fourth line capable of doing that in the playoffs in overtime. It's really good. I don't know if you guys can tell the amount of relief that I'm feeling, just because the storylines would have been like every time we thought of Fleury, it would be an addendum attached to the end of that storybook career of him having this fantastic stuff, everything that happens with Vegas, despite the fact that the fans still adore and love and appreciate. There were Fleury chants in T-Mobile when he's playing against us in the playoffs. You don't have that kind of appreciation from fans unless you are a really good player who is really beloved because of just how he is as a person and how much he meant to this franchise. The way that the front office treated him does not at all reflect how the fans feel about him. And I'm getting ahead of myself again. The point is, Vegas is up 3-2 in the series. We go back to Minnesota on Thursday. It is an earlier game. It's 4:30 Vegas time, which is good for me. It's 7:30 my time. Fantastic. Hats off to Minnesota. This was a great hockey game that because of the way that it ended, I will be able to actually look back fondly on. But that's gonna be it for round 1, Game 5's nightly review. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.